here.
Are you on too? What's the status of your microphone?
It's on.
Me and Michael.
Much like Donkey Kong.
Solid as they come.
Me and Michael. It's not a question of me and Michael. Me and Michael. There's the theme song.
Very good.
There you go. That was a nice little impromptu.
That was. You got such a great singing voice.
Thank you.
Oh God, so good.
I should have covered a track from that MGMT album.
That's true. Oh my God, that is easily their best record in like
ever. I think it's their best one.
Oh,
they only have 4, so it's not hard to pick.
That's true. And the middle two, well,
Congratulations is pretty good.
pretty
I think.
good. Yeah. And then what's the self-titled one? Thank you, but I'll pass.
Weird left turn there.
Weird left turn there. Alien Days, more like you're missing your ways, Andrew Van Wingarden. Why don't you move back to, the electric feel era? More.
I need some more kids.
Yeah,
singles.
More kids. I need more Rainn Wilson approved indie pop. Yeah.
That song is in so many vlogs from around when it came out, like 2009.
Yeah. It was
track.
like so many people were like, "This would be perfect for my travel video." In the same way that, like, an equal number of people heard "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" and were like,
Yeah.
"Bar mitzvah slideshow." Put that damn
my God.
shit in.
My dad would make the. I'm trying to find a place to plug my phone. My dad would make the.
What are you looking for?
A USB little outlet. My dad was like the head of like the media side of the Plano Senior High band when I was in it.
Nice.
And he would make the slideshows and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
But he would choose tasteful songs.
Oh, nice.
I think.
Yeah.
Except for he had to have the obligatory "Don't Stop Believing" every once in a while.
You had to pop it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't go that route of any.
I
doubt he's probably the last person who would be a Green Day fan.
That's fair. You gotta that's a song that you gotta, part of like paying your dues as like a member of any functioning society is including that song with some legitimacy, like in a certain context at a certain time in your life. Like, you're scrolling through your iTunes library and you're like, oh, I don't want to pick it. But you probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. Did he like doing that? The making the slideshow?
Oh, he loves doing that. He still does it for his church and stuff.
What is his profession, if you don't mind?
His official profession, he's a web developer.
Oh, cool.
He runs a company called Membership. I hope he's listening because I told him to listen.
Hey.
So I'm promoting his thing. He runs this thing called Membership Toolkit, which is essentially, he's got the best elevator pitch for it, but it's basically like, you know how when you were in high school and you were like doing all that like season of band, like in the summer where you would have to go through the huge line of paperwork and figuring out the uniforms and the schedules and all the, or like if your mom was in like the PTA, all sorts of paperwork stuff. Yep. He developed a system to where that's all online now instead of
that was
like
him.
Physical paper.
I know I recognized that membership toolkit from somewhere.
He's worked with, honestly, probably like thousands of schools in the country now at this point with this system.
With this software. And he made it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's all web-based in browser. And it's really cool stuff.
Expedites the whole process.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. He's doing really well with it.
We're living in the modern world. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's so cool.
He's, I don't know, he told me about this maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know what the progress is on it right now, but I think he's still working on getting his first international client.
Oh.
Which is pretty
Did he specify
exciting.
Where?
I think he said Tokyo.
Ooh.
Or somewhere in Japan. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I don't really know about he has better info on that, but yeah, so that's his main job, but on the side he does he does AV work and video
production.
Yeah, he makes some slideshows and videos and stuff for church and other people who know him.
Other agencies.
Yeah, and he taught me all that stuff. That's why I know like Final Cut so well and Photoshop. And
I was gonna ask. You're very well skilled.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's all him.
I watched a promo for your radio show in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
You put a YouTube video up like an hour before your show.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah.
I was planning on listening to your show because I think I was in Dallas and I was driving back home. But it was like I saw the promo and I was like, I really have to listen to this radio show. Yeah. Gosh, I'll be darn tootin' if I don't. You know?
I love that the little promo that I made for the Aesthetic Cave with the clip I used was from a I think it's German, a stop motion short film that was about like Frankenstein or something, and it had that like little walking through gray corridor kind of thing.
And you kind of
I loved like just grabbing that simple shot. I put some filters on it so that it was more blurry, and then I put the text over. I don't know, boring stuff like that is really interesting to me. It's fun to do.
I mean, yeah, it's all in the details, really, and it's true that you've embraced such an ideology, and you care for your detail.
I wanted to make like a really kind of silly like mock TV ad for the thing I'm releasing tomorrow. I mean, I don't have a proper camera, so it would be a lot easier if I could like set up a camera and like film all the stuff. But I would like put in a bunch of like wacky texts, and it would be like, has this ever happened to you?
Jokerman font.
I need the Jokerman font. Or like Impact.
I need a whole record of amazing and thoroughly recorded covers, and I need it by Monday for my angry, inconsiderate boss.
Yeah.
Who expects such a project from me in the workplace.
Well, I need an album
for you
of 38 songs, all recorded by one person. But
38 songs.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
There's gonna be one more.
Oh, it's gonna be what's it gonna be? One more?
I think so. Yeah, Ellie's recording a vocal part for it, and she should have it to me by tonight. If she's listening right now, she better be. It's literally a 10-second clip. It's the easiest thing.
What did you have to do?
Just record a little vocal line.
Oh, okay.
There's a little.
There's nothing. I didn't know if this was like some Pavarotti like.
Oh no, it's not. It's not like
expedition.
No, it's just a simple
like a couple of words.
It's like 11 words, I think.
Oh yeah.
Of just the chorus.
What are the words?
So when you come back, we'll have to make new love. It's a Bjork song.
Oh, okay.
And there's one part where there's one part where there are two vocal lines overlapping, and I didn't want it to be both me.
Nice.
So I want one of them.
Add another timbre.
So it'd be kind of a duet.
That'll be cool. That'd be
cool. So
like a duet across the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just come out and say it's going to be it's covers volume 2. So 5 years ago tomorrow.
I'm going to go on your bank and find the other one.
Yeah, 5 years ago tomorrow I released my first covers compilation, which was, I think, 32 or 30, somewhere around there. Songs written by other people that some of them were really thrown together, and some of them were very well thought out and planned and recorded and produced.
5 years ago. Wow.
Yeah,
like,
so
almost to the day.
No, it's going to be to the day.
That's true.
Because I'm going to put it out tomorrow. So like a few months ago I realized it's going to be the 5-year anniversary of that thing, and that's one of my most, or at least like when I had a YouTube audience, that was one of my most popular things that I did was cover songs.
Nice.
So I was like, I'm going to record a crap ton of other songs and put them, like, make another one,
make them ready,
and make it a bigger, better version. So I really think these are some of the best ones as far as covers that I've done. Yeah.
What are some of your favorites that you've recorded on this new collection?
Well, I did that cover of Drake's Passion Fruit.
Very good.
I think that one's going to be a hit because it's a very popular song.
Yeah, and it's a very pretty rendition.
It's
such a tender.
I saw potential in it.
A tender, vulnerable aria. That one is.
Yeah. A modern aria for the millennial age.
From a man who was born in Canada and starred on Degrassi for a couple seasons.
And he wrote one of the true
representations of sadness in the musical world. that which many
oh my God.
born after the year 2014 or 15.
Did you listen to Scorpion?
No.
Did you even try?
No.
I don't blame you, to be honest.
I don't want I'm not saying that I totally support. I don't really know where I stand. The whole Drake Pusha T thing. I think it's
oh, as far as the beef.
Yeah, because I don't even really know what the beef is.
Oh, they've been at each other for years.
Okay, yeah.
But this was the first time Pusha T really came out and said something directly.
Something hard. Okay.
And then Drake came back with a somewhat decent freestyle where he was kind of feeling himself. He was actually kind of tough, whereas usually one of his selling points in his actual music is that he's really tender.
Yeah,
and
right.
Kind of like a sad boy.
Why don't you call me back on my cell phone?
Yeah, exactly.
You used to call me there.
Yeah. Remember that? You used to call me on that thing.
That's right. Okay. Well.
So in this freestyle, he kind of was actually.
He's feeling himself.
Pretty tough and pretty aggressive sounding. Yeah. But then Pusha T was oh yeah, and came back with the most cutting diss track I've ever heard in my life, where he was just it's. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so just savage.
It's pretty evil.
He was yeah, but what about that kid that you had and told no one about?
Oh, that was where that came from.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
and what about that time you wore blackface and I'm going to use it as the album cover for this track?
Right.
And it's oh, wow.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so that clears things up a little bit.
And the only thing Drake did to respond is put a little Instagram story post where he's okay, so the picture was from a shoot that I did a while back and it was supposed to explain, the problems that mixed people have dealing with, being, it was some
long-winded
BS. Yeah.
What is that? Champagne Poppy? Is that still his Instagram handle?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
But that's all he did, and he doesn't really address it on the album or anything. So the beef's pretty much squashed.
It's just gone. And so, would you then consider Pusha T the victor in this?
Oh, I think it's pretty unanimous. People think Pusha T had the upper hand.
I mean, it seems to be the case. Yeah.
But I would say the album has little to nothing to do with that, other than the fact that it's doing very poorly because of how much he was shamed via the beef.
Happened, yeah. He just hasn't really, I don't know. I've been off and on his music, and I can't. It feels like he's lost his touch.
Certainly.
Yeah, if you're reading this, was a very solid record, and it kind of seemed like a second wind after a couple mediocre releases of his, but that's the last. More Life was very good, but so More Life was rather the last.
Well, yeah, no, I would say
strong release,
not counting Passion Fruit, because that's kind of it's an okay song, and I saw a melody that I liked, and that's why I covered it. But yeah, I think if you're reading This Was Too Late, it was his high watermark as far as a full project goes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then he put out Hotline Bling, which was a great song.
That's true.
And his hottest single probably ever.
Ever, yeah.
But then he came out with Views, and it was
right, Views was subpar.
It was so long,
and it was all trap.
So shoddy. Yeah, it was just.
No, I right. In a sense, that's true. Okay, so More Life was right. It was a mixtape, right? Is that how it was?
It was a playlist.
It was a playlist, right?
He called it a playlist. That means. Exactly. Why?
I don't know, man.
It was his way of being these aren't really album versions, so I'll just put it over here.
I'll just put it all on a record and put it out on the internet.
Yeah, but I won't call it a record. I'll call it a playlist.
So
it's not a mixtape either.
Your subdued Drake voice when attempting to explain something in a very piss poor mangled manner is that's really good. So Passion Fruit is your what's your second favorite cover from this new collection?
Oh, from the collection? There are...
Covers Volume 2.
Yeah, there are a
few.
About,
baby? Driving to Las Vegas. Taking ether.
Yeah.
Speed. Drinking a case of Budweiser with my friend, Benicio del Toro. Listening to Covers Volume 2 by Matthew Duvall on my bright red Corvette. Passing by the other desert cities highway song.
Yes. Yeah. There were a few that I've already done, or that I had already done and that were on YouTube. Like I did that cover of the Banjo-Kazooie song.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
on there.
Oh, nice.
I put the Too Much percussion ensemble thing on there.
That's on there too.
Those are all good.
Nice. Those are good.
But as far as new ones that aren't heard yet, I did a one that I really like of a Porches song called "By Your Side" from his new album.
Do you like his new album? I haven't listened.
Yeah,
to it
well,
yet,
here's the thing: it went under a lot of people's radar, and it did at mine first. But I don't know, something drew me to it, and I think I
picked it.
Yeah,
picked it up later.
It's one of my favorites of this year. It's in my like top 20. So.
How does it compare to Pool?
Well, I loved Pool at first when I heard it, but I didn't return to it as much. I think the first maybe 3 or 4 tracks are really good, and then it kind of trails off.
Wanes.
Yeah, but I think the songwriting on The House is better. I don't know why, because I know that like it's received pretty mixed reviews from people. But I don't know, something about there are some songs on this album that I really like more. So. I wanna be a part. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay. So there's a song from his new album called "By Your Side."
That was one you covered.
Yeah, and it was more of a. It's this one right here.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So it's the original version is like a singer-songwriter track, but it has like this really weird like house influenced beat behind it, and it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But I really liked the song underneath it, so I did more of like an acoustic rendition of it that I think is really, really cool. I made it sound more like a Howdy track.
Nice.
Which is also another album that I really like. So.
That's Cranberry is you played that one several times on your radio show.
Yeah, I really liked that
record.
Mm-hmm.
What's so then when you're approaching recording a cover, is there like hard and fast criteria that you look to each and every time you go through that decision making process, or are there certain songs that just you're like, I want to give them a second chance, or you just like the song?
I don't think there's a universal thing that applies to every single one, and I approach
each one.
I do have a method though, and I approach each cover kind of differently. There are some where it's like, there's one where it's just straight up, I really love this song and I want to just play it because I love it so much, and I'll pretty much, my version will be pretty similar, but I'll have like a few like minor tweaks that'll make it sound a little different, so they know it's my version rather than like I did one of Sufjan's songs Springfield from his Avalanche compilation that one of my friends was listening to it, my cover, and he was like, I thought this was the original at first. So some of them are pretty similar, and some of them it'll be a song that I really like what's at the core of the actual song, but like there might be something about the instrumentation that I don't feel like fits quite well, so I'll try to like reimagine it,
do it again, give it another try. That's cool. Well, and then I see you put can I go ahead and there's one
go ahead.
I see you put your cover of Less of Me Slipping by Future Nets.
I did that.
And that one, I think that, or at least as I've conceived the story to be, that one came apart like just out of necessity, that you wanted to design the instrumentation.
Originally I was like, I want to re-envision how this would work in a live setting. But this version that's going to be on the thing isn't the same one I sent you guys. I put a little bit more
tweaked
stuff in it so that it didn't just sound like because I had the opportunity to, so I just kind of this one I would say it sounds pretty similar to Tyler's version, but it's just one of those songs where I just really wanted to sing it, and I think it sounds cool, and I like the way I did it. So
what do you prefer, Bandcamp desktop or mobile view?
Oh, desktop.
Oh, yeah?
Much better. Yeah, because you can see, like, if you have a banner, you can see the banner.
Banner.
Like, this doesn't have my really great color scheme that I put on my...
Your color scheme is sick.
I live for the beige.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Everything about me is beige. Yeah, I'm wearing my...
It's a great color.
This is one of my favorite shirts.
Good shirt, And you got the undershirt underneath it, too.
No, this is actually... Everyone asks that every time I wear this shirt... It's not an undershirt.
Oh.
It's a fake out.
What?
Yeah. Every time I wear this, someone's like, "Why are you wearing 2 shirts?" It's like, no, it's not. It's just this.
What is the purpose of this?
I guess just for the style, I guess.
Where did you get this shirt?
I got it at a thrift store.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've had a few shirts where it was just like, I even had one when I was a kid where it was like a short sleeve shirt, but then it had long sleeves just attached.
Yeah.
So it looked like I was wearing two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just,
I don't
like,
know.
Stuck on the.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
That's like frustrating.
I know it's weird that it's like it.
I'll
looks
figure
like
out
I'm
why
wearing
that's
two.
frustrating later tonight, but I don't really know why right now. It'll probably hit me abruptly.
Mm-hmm. Just smack in the face.
Just pop me. Well, that's cool. So
Well, that's why.
That's why I was so mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
30. Do you think is like 38 a symbolic number to you, or was it just like?
No, I just wanted a similar number to the last one, but a few more.
A couple more.
Yeah,
boosted
just
into...
to be. And some of them are really long. You'll notice I have a Depeche Mode cover on here, the song Black Celebration, that I had already released for Halloween a couple years back. That's 19 minutes long.
Ooh.
The original song's like 4.
Amazing. See, but that's, I mean, it's like clearly there's something that stood out to you, and you're like, I want to bend that. I want to bend.
Yeah,
that
there was
thing till
with
it
that
breaks.
with a song like that specifically, and Passion Fruit's a similar example because I also made that one really long.
Yeah.
There was an atmosphere that I wanted to capture, but just like go deeper into it.
Right.
So I just went real hard and put like a 10-minute drone at the beginning, and then I really kind of turned that song on its head.
Oh, so it seems.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would also say that some of these covers, just in general, are just like an exercise in me just practicing my production chops, because a lot of the tracks were made strictly within the program, within the software, and didn't use any outside instrumentation. And that was just like an opportunity for me to work with
what you have,
like synth patches and kind of like crafting sounds that I feel like work for a certain setting or whatever.
Absolutely.
So,
well, and that are clearly that require a higher level, of recording, knowledge to attain.
Right.
Yeah, to put into your song properly. Yeah, that's cool. It's clear that, I think you've, throughout your recording history, you've proven yourself as, a self-made, wizard of the home recording environment.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
It's pretty crazy to hear some of your songs and think, this was one person in
in GarageBand of all things.
I
hate that I still have GarageBand.
Alt J recorded their first EP on GarageBand.
Oh, really?
As did Grimes did Visions.
Yeah, I still, every time I'm like, I hate that I'm using GarageBand, I just remind, Visions was recorded in GarageBand.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
If you put the software to good use and you know what you're doing with it, which I'm confident that you do, and you can make something great. It's just you have to be patient, you have to be, diligent, but you have to be knowledgeable too. You have to be conscious of the...
That's kind of what I felt like the purpose of making these covers were, is just to kind of practice and get as knowledgeable of the program as I can, so that when I make original stuff and stuff that I really want to grab people's ears, that I'll know my way around it. Front to back, cover to cover, or whatever.
Yeah. That's cool. It's like a little. It's like a practice lap. Yeah, that's cool.
Hopefully, I'll get Logic one day, and then I'll
Pro
elevate
Tools
to the next.
Yeah. What's the other FL Studio? Or they got
Ableton.
Ableton. That's right. That's the. Yeah, that one's supposed to be.
I've seen some very convincing arguments for Ableton being the really good one.
Same. It seems like Ableton is like Pro Tools with a much more accessible, approachable layout. Yeah, it's just like the same technology.
We actually have Pro Tools on this one over here. Oh, okay. It's what they use for the stereo, for studio sessions. I've tried. I mean, this is an old version, and this is a really old Mac. It's maybe Snow Leopard, maybe at the latest, which is
that is
almost 8 years old at this point.
What are we on? Lion, Ox, whatever.
No, we're past the Cats now. It's Places. So the current one I think is Mavericks, or let's look it up, because it started with Yosemite. They moved from Cats to national parks.
Yes, okay. So Yosemite now.
So I'm not sure what the most recent one is. Let's find out. Wikipedia. No, Landmarks in California. That's what it is. The latest version is High Sierra.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yes, a new version of High Sierra is available for your. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Would you like to download and install it now?
Right. So Snow Leopard,
yes.
I think, is the one that this is on, and that's version 10.6 released in 2009. So yeah, it's pretty behind.
9 years late.
Yeah, and I don't know why they wish to not update it, but there's some technical reason. But anyway, Pro Tools is very unapproachable.
Yeah,
I found it pretty hard to use.
It's kind of a deadlocking software. It's very like it's kind of petrifying if you're unacquainted with the process of recording things to a computer.
There seemed to be a lot of seemed to revolve around a lot of keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah,
that I wasn't able to like acclimate myself to pretty quick.
It's scary to I played in a band when I was at UT last year or my sophomore year, and we recorded an EP in the spring in the studio in downtown Austin, which is it turned out really solid, and the guy was very knowledgeable, but like for literally like 6 or 7 hours we just watched him do keyboard shortcuts with Pro Tools.
Yeah, it's like,
and it was the most intimidating thing I've ever seen someone do with a keyboard. This guy was like, I mean, he's a very nice guy, like, but I didn't see him as particularly intimidating. None of us did. He wasn't like some skulking big rock type, but like when we finished the session, it was like, oh my god, yeah, it's keyboard shortcuts.
I just gotta Tyler just snapped both of us.
Garfield fan club.
Shout out to Garfield fan club. That's what this podcast should be called.
Have you seen
Welcome to the Garfield fan club.
Have you seen that there's like a Garfield video on YouTube. It's like a really poor animation.
Yes.
Garfield.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite YouTube creators, Pilot Red Sun.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god.
Very, very good.
I ate those food.
That's it.
Where is the hamburger helper? I ate those food.
It's like Primus B-sides in the background.
Yes.
It's so scary.
Oh my god, I love that. He has this really good video called Casino Night or something. It's like similarly very poorly, but on purpose. It's like this guy's going to Las Vegas and he's like, hope I score some big bucks tonight. And he plays like blackjack or something, and he gets a bust, and he's like, well, I guess that's a bust, boys, or something like similarly like, it's the kind of humor that we like.
Pizza for dinner.
Yeah. For the Nutrin also.
Well, I guess that's a bust, boys.
I'll have to show you that. He actually does music too, and he had a little album of like, I guess it's kind of like IDM stuff, like breakbeats. It's
like
really
Aphex Twin.
Like Aphex Twin.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a cover of Avril 14 on there too.
From DRUKQS.
Yeah, Drux.
That's a good one.
It's a great track.
He's
something.
Richard D. James, baby. Yeah, he is something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What's like I asked Michael here before our show. I said, Michael, what's your favorite day of the week? And Michael was about to answer me, and then I think
I said,
told Michael to hold off for a second.
Well, Tad,
what's your answer?
I gotta
Michael?
tell you.
I mean, I'm just Tad. I like
Tad,
to ask questions.
Tad Ghostal,
me, inquisitive guy, Tad Ghostal. What's Michael? What's Michael? That's your full name.
Michael.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it, bitch.
I thought about when I uploaded my music to DistroKid. I thought about just like changing my name,
Michael,
to
pizza.
Because I put in Duvall with the capital V and they never remember it. Like it never stays capital.
They always do Matthew Duvall.
No, they do like
lowercase?
Yeah, the lowercase v, like it's all one word.
Like it's like some kind of Northern European thing.
Well, it is Northern Europe. It's a Dutch last name.
Well, right, but like it's like that you're like you got off the ship from Holland just 5 days ago, and you're like, I'm going to put my music out on DistroKid. But not that it's an anglicized.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, right. It's right. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, capital letters in the middle of words are weird for streaming services. They don't like that.
I always wonder why they changed certain words, certain letters. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about just making my stage name just Matthew Devil.
Matthew Devil.
Like Devil.
Well, that was was that Matt the Devil was your Bandcamp name?
I had a Bandcamp called that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, where you put the
I just like used it for
you put the drum
miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
But I had never used it for anything. I just put that out under my own name eventually.
Miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah. I just used it for like when I wanted to show someone something, but I didn't want to release it yet, so I would just upload it there and send them that link.
Send them that link. Okay, yeah. Oh,
I eventually changed that Bandcamp to the Marble Falls Bandcamp, so that's what it is now. Because you're only allowed to have 3 Bandcamps at a time, I've noticed.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. So I have the me one, the Tain Is Love one, and the Marble Falls one. So.
Okay, yeah. Those are your 3.
Maybe, I mean, you could probably upgrade to like a Bandcamp Pro account.
Oh, that's right, and add more.
Yeah, but that's all I got right now. So.
You ever thought about doing that?
I probably will at some if I get an audience and get some revenue out of it, I would probably do that upgrade as well as the DistroKid like Plus, because then you can
do that as well.
Then you can change the record label name. You can there's some other stuff you can do. Mm-hmm. You can get revenue from when people use it in YouTube videos.
Oh, that's cool. You can
stuff like that.
Your,
that's cool. Yeah.
What's
I feel like that could be really useful.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Do you use Bandcamp begrudgingly, or do you like Bandcamp?
Oh no, I love it.
You love it. Okay.
Ever since I discovered it, I was like, "This is perfect."
Fan. Yeah, that's true. It is. It's pretty appropriate for small musicians.
Yeah, I like it even more than, or way more, I should say, than SoundCloud. I never liked SoundCloud.
Same.
Something about it never.
It's so impersonal.
Yeah.
SoundCloud is like the hookups of like small band like dissemination software.
It's much more. It's way better.
Whereas Bandcamp is a long-term relationship with your audience. Yeah.
SoundCloud's way better for individual tracks.
Yeah, and like small, if you're just trying to toss things out.
Right. Yeah.
Get plays, call it a day. You
exactly.
don't want to know complete partial skip. From where if they're downloading it.
Yeah, Bandcamp has all the different
stats.
Yeah, and it's like. Anthony put it the best way. He said it's like it turned online record shopping into a boutique experience.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
It's like all the layout is beautiful.
Right.
You can customize it in any way that you want.
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
You can add records to your collection, and you can add it to your wish list. You can say what you like about it, what you don't.
Out under your album, it'll show who's bought it, and
true.
You can write little comments about it. And,
it's a good way of explaining it.
It's very much like
Melonhead hit the nail on the Melonhead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, no, I agree. It's really
good.
From like before I started putting my own music on it, I would just like browse the tags and just download stuff that I thought was cool.
I get that.
Because I thought it was the first thing that caught my eye about it that was so cool was the name your price feature.
That's true.
I had never seen like you had to either buy it on iTunes or they would give it out for free.
Right.
You couldn't like
tell people,
name your own price.
Just pick whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I kind of want you to do 0. Like, it'll be better for both of us. Really, you don't have to give me any money.
Right.
It's really it is. That's a good point. And it's like it's. Yeah, I mean, and you can do it for so many different. You can put out a whole album. Mm-hmm. You can put out a single. You can put out an EP. You can put out. I've seen people with 100 song compilations.
Yeah.
And or
exactly.
Like
mine's almost 40.
It's so cool. Yeah. And I assume your record's going to get some sweet buzz because it's really good.
I hope it does get buzz.
It'll be good. I'll be retweeting that and I'll be reposting that.
Thank you.
I'll be listening to that. I'll be downloading it. I'll hit it all the way through. I will. Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll be good.
I think DistroKid allows you to upload covers too.
Do they?
So I might put them up on Spotify too.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
What? So you?
I don't know what the legal complications of that are.
That's true. I was going to ask you clearly. I mean, has there ever been a record or a release that you've contemplated putting it up for a price just for the sake of like validating your like artistic like dedication?
The ones that I'm like I really feel like are my strongest ones, the Someone and No Input Signal, are both like $5 I think on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
But the stuff that's like covers or like the leftover material or the B-sides or all that kind of stuff, that stuff is free. That's as far as I know.
Do you get how many people download the $5 ones?
No one. They just play. They just listen to them.
Listen to it and that's it.
Which is fine with me.
That's true. You get the.
I don't really expect anything of them. So.
How much of your plays are like the complete or partial or?
Generally, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I think partial is the most popular one. not a whole lot of people like skip.
I feel that.
But maybe they like play the first few all the way through and then they kind of skim the rest.
The rest of it. I feel that.
Something like that.
They hit a little bit. And is it like, what's like a popular time length for your audience? Because it's like, I mean, clear that you've...
I don't know. You're getting real specific. I don't know. All that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's just, you have a variety of, like, music in your discography, and some songs on, your releases are, on average, 15 minutes, while others are on
I got 17-minute songs, and I have 10-second songs.
Yeah, it's like on, on the
with the signatones thing, it's like...
It's true. Those are all... See, that's what I love. The Taint Is Love record felt like, kind of felt like an acid tablet in the form of a record, in the sense that it's like
it's still just one of my favorite things.
It's a whole. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. If you haven't listened to it yet, please take a listen to Quantum Vision. Taint Is Love, Matthew's vaporwave side project.
It isn't on
excellent.
It isn't on streaming services, but it's on Bandcamp at Illuminated Paths.
That's the record name, or the record label. Yeah, and you can get it on cassette. So if you're into cassettes...
I don't know if those are still available, but yeah, you can try.
You can give that a shot. Request more from back order.
Yeah.
Illuminated Paths, Florida, USA. Orange, Broward County. Miami-Dade County. XXX Tentacion. Suck my ass. That dead asshole.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was a spew of words.
I didn't...
I don't like him.
You don't have to anymore.
That's true.
You don't have to even pretend.
I don't have to even pretend.
He's no longer with us.
He's done with.
It's very dark, but it's a complicated issue.
It is, and we'll discuss it.
I want to talk about a more positive and more recent topic in rap news.
Thai cave children. Thai cave children. Elon Musk submarine.
Yeah.
Thai cave children.
Scarlett Johansson.
Did you see that tweet today? It was like, I really hope Scarlett Johansson
plays all
12 Thai children in that movie. Very good.
They just did it for the meme.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny.
For the meme, yeah.
I could see that being like an SNL sketch.
That's
where
true.
Scarlett Jo
running around,
appears on and does
She must be pretty aware of the stigma surrounding such a
She must be.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done legitimately good movies.
Yeah, and she's done yeah, that's true, that are recognizable, acceptable roles. And then she did Ghost in the Shell, and now she's oh god, yeah, it's a mess.
I don't want to think about that one.
What were you saying about
I was gonna say happy birthday and welcome to the world, Miss. Or I don't know what the gender of the baby is, but Culture, Cardi B and Offset had their child today.
Oh, it's born!
Mm-hmm. Wow. And their name is Culture with a K. That's the name of the child.
Wow.
Which I'm kind of on the fence about. And on one hand, I want to be cynical and be like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You're naming it Culture?
You're naming it Culture.
After the album Culture? But on the other hand, I'm like, well, it's kind of progressive.
And if you're gonna,
it doesn't have a gender assigned to it.
That's true. That's cool. It's a baby.
Yeah, it's just a baby.
And if you're gonna have a child with any member of Migos,
it's gotta be
Offset. It's gotta be. It's just.
Yeah.
You could never have a baby with Quavo, nor would you want to. And Takeoff, come on.
Who's Takeoff?
He's the third Migo.
I know, it's a joke.
That's true. Good point.
Because who cares about Takeoff?
Who cares about Takeoff? Quavo was the one that was I don't mess with queers, and that Quavo could fall in the pit for. And then Takeoff just. But Offset's name is so cool. Have you ever seen Atlanta, the FX series?
No, but I've heard great. It's Donald Glover's, right? Yeah,
it is. And the Migos guest star in one episode.
Oh, really?
As an underground crime trio that deal drugs in the forest.
Yeah,
it's very good. But so
cool.
When was the baby born?
I think today. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know the deets.
The baby born without a name, chocolate rain. Some strange ride. A baby born without a gender.
I think it's a girl. I'm not positive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. But, crap, it's not showing up. Here, I'll just search. Culture.
Google search. Oh, we gotta do the intro.
We did the intro. It was me and Michael.
That's true. It was modified. You want to do our second intro now?
I guess. Go ahead. Me and Mike. I'm just kidding.
That's not bad.
Read a book. Read a book. Martini Police.
Martini Police. So good.
Yes, it is a daughter. Their first child together, a daughter named Culture Chiari Cephas.
Oh, that's sweet.
On Tuesday, July 10th. So it was yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
So they just announced it today.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's cool.
They're two budding plants in the
Two budding plants.
garden of parenthood. Yeah, that'll be sweet.
Yeah,
They're both good people.
as far as I know.
That's true. Well, wait, didn't Cardi B said some bad stuff about? No, wait, Cardi B's kind of transphobic.
Really?
Yeah, she said she called like trans women roaches in like a tweet a long time ago, and she tried to cover it up.
How was it in like 2012 or something?
No, it was like more recent than that. And she tried to cover it up by saying that roach was like Bronx slang, that they just kind of threw it around there, but it still didn't like excuse the fact that she like.
That doesn't. Oh, that's so.
It's bad.
Oh, I had faith in her as an artist.
It's we'll put this one aside because this is hard to. I don't know all the details. I just know that she said some
maybe
not wonderful stuff, and then they had a baby, so we'll let them live in that joy for a second.
I don't.
Baby.
I don't think I should make any comments.
That's fair. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just like. You can't talk about anyone without having something go awry.
Bad happen. Yeah. What's in the news today? About
that was my news bit.
That was your news. Oh, can I give my news bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Croatia beat
England
2-1.
So it ain't coming home, fellas.
It ain't coming home.
It's going far away.
It's going far away.
I don't know where. I never like looked into what that meant, but I assumed it was just like a English phrase meaning like
there's a pop song like from the 80s, I think, or maybe it was the 90s, but anyways, yeah, this was when England had like become like entirely aware of the extreme like World Cup drought that existed in their country at the time, and it still does. They wrote a song, and they were like, it was like totally just like a sports World Cup song, It was like, we're bringing it home, boys, like we're gonna bring it home.
Just like a chant kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like an oi oi thing. And now they've lost their spot in the finals to a country that is now experiencing their first go around in the World Cup finals in the history of the country's existence.
That's pretty cool. Good for them.
Zagreb is on its best behavior this evening.
Cool. Yeah. I have my manager at work who, I'll be honest, doesn't know a single thing about me, probably. And he's kind of blissfully ignorant to the things that I say to him. He was like, "Hey, do you watch the World Cup?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And he was like, "Oh, great, me too." And so every day he talks to me about like the updates or like what's happening with the World Cup. Right. He's like, "So who you rooting for, England or Croatian?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have no idea. I guess Croatia." And he's like, "Oh no, England's gonna do great. They're gonna beat, and then they're gonna go against France, and then France is gonna take the cup. I think it's
locked in."
So I'm gonna beat this one in his face. Croatia won.
Croatia won. Yeah, come
dick.
Prep tomorrow and be like, I know it. I know this one.
I'm from the future. I know every victory of the world. I've got the almanac.
Who gave you the almanac? The same guys that wrote the 1999 seminal pop release Euro Pop.
Oh my God! Stop! No.
Jeffrey J.
That's it for the Martini Police, everybody. I'm leaving right now.
Go.
Oh my God.
We we're clearing the first hour here. Yeah. Just kidding. We have about 15 minutes left before we do that. So 15 minutes goes by. Why don't we do a 15-minute moment of silence?
For who?
I mean, 16 minutes for Mr. Rogers. No. He sure could use one.
I mean, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
this. Wait, I visited my girlfriend in Austin.
Yeah, talk about you did have something to talk about.
My tete-a-tete. I went to visit my my sweet and loving partner Mackenzie Payne in Austin this weekend. We had a fantastic time.
7th track off of No Dreams by Steven Leftovers.
Mackenzie Ann Payne, yeah.
Listen to us on Spotify.
Apple Music, Bandcamp,
Deezer,
iHeartRadio, Pandora,
Tidal. Listen to it on your Napster. Profile. Frostwire, LimeWire.
Is it on? Probably is.
Those don't exist anymore, I don't think.
True.
But
I think you're right.
I'm just running with it.
Do you remember that scene in The Social Network where it was revealed that like Sean Parker was like, "I'm Sean Parker." Like,
I haven't seen The Social Network.
It's okay. It's not like a movie. Not Fincher's
I will
best.
see it.
You ever seen Seven?
The movie 7?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. Oh, like SE7EN?
Brad Pitt,
no, I don't
Morgan
think
Freeman.
so.
Very good. That was Aaron Fincher's first movie, and it had a Nine Inch Nails score. Very good. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So I went to Austin this weekend, and I visited my sweet partner Mackenzie Payne, and we had a great time. We watched the first night. We saw "Won't You Be My Neighbor," the Mr. Rogers documentary. And we were both, like, tearing up at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's truly like, I mean, there are a few people in human existence that gave that much of a pedestal for children to use when projecting their, like, legitimate, you know, and entirely valid ideas and thoughts.
It was like
beliefs.
It was like a surprisingly
oh, you've seen it? Yeah.
Like interpersonal kind of.
I didn't even ask you. Yeah.
No, not the documentary. I haven't seen that.
Oh,
I'm talking about just his show.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like intimate. That was the word I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
It was surprisingly like intimate and like
very personal.
Like welcoming as far as like children are allowed to feel the way they feel because they're children.
I mean, it was everything from, you know, just from like he visited the like Pittsburgh General Hospital to show children that they're not scary, and like, you know, it's
kind of groundbreaking.
It is,
at least in the era that it came out in.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big deal.
Exactly. I mean, you know, the Officer Clements on his show was actually like a closeted gay man who was black. And Mr. Rogers like made absolutely an effort to like welcome him to the cast and was well aware of his sexual, like he was a very good, loving guy.
Very heartwarming.
They talked about how on the day that Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, they got Mr. Rogers to go on and do kids programming, so the news shows, or some of them rather, wouldn't have to be like constantly broadcasting news of this terrible assassination.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so he was like...
If only they do that like
for everything,
every day now.
No one exists like him anymore, you know?
Yeah.
You know? But, no, great movie. I highly recommend. It was very touching.
I'm going to have, I think, a similarly like kind of nostalgic, heartwarming feeling when I see Christopher Robin. Because my parents never... miss an opportunity to remind me that when I was a child, I watched the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I don't know what the name of the movie is, but I watched it every day.
Many Adventures.
Like day after day. It was the only movie I watched was Winnie the Pooh.
So why is Eeyore the best character? Also, what's your
because he's a sad boy.
He is. Because Eeyore is he's a hype beast, man. What's your favorite movie to have come out in recent times? Like what's the last movie that you saw in theaters and truly enjoyed?
In theaters? Yeah. Good question. My first thought is Her. I remember when I saw that in theaters, it kind of messed with me.
Oh yeah.
Emotionally. Because it was, and I say this all the time when I talk about it, it's stunningly like plausible.
That's true.
Like it could happen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the world in the world in which we live.
Yeah. And it was kind of scary to think about that. So that's a good example. I mean, I've told you Mr. Nobody's my favorite film, but I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it several years after it came out for the first time, so I don't know if I would count that one.
When's the last time you've been to the movie theater?
When I saw Solo.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's true. You did say you saw that recently.
Pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't mind the anthology films.
Yeah.
I saw something on Twitter today about people were like trying to start a campaign to remake The Last Jedi because they thought it was so bad.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Cut
like
that
for
out.
real, like for real, like do it again.
Come on.
like,
what? I mean, do you know how much money
like
they
would
spent on that movie?
exactly. Like they'd be able to just like, okay, we'll just
Whip
redux
another one out of their asshole. Come on.
Oh no.
That's just. I mean, the Star Wars fan base is like tried and true, like the worst fan base in the history of any like fantastical cinematic.
Right behind
universe.
Rick and Morty.
That's true. Right behind Rick and Morty. I mean, some days I switch them.
Yeah.
Some days, those who like Rick and Morty and can run out of any, legitimate business establishment with their shirt off.
That's the reason I
bed.
just like cannot like Star Wars fans are annoying, but they're not that petty with that.
Yeah.
With like a.
It's.
I don't know if I want to. I'm just gonna get so
unbelievable.
mad.
I mean,
A condiment.
It's unbelievable. A condiment.
Screw you.
It's unbelievable. No, it's unbelievable. Let it out, really.
Oh my God.
This is the time, because it's unbelievable. I totally agree.
I
with
don't
you.
even think it's that good of a show.
It's not.
Like it can be funny, I guess, from time to time.
No,
but it's not like.
It's not. It's like.
Oh my God.
I mean, they were really like. I mean, like Andrew Ray from Binging with Baba. She was like, "Yeah, I made it. It was fine." It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
do you drive to McDonald's at 5 a.m. and scream through the loudspeaker to get it? Screaming over loudspeakers. Another track from.
That's
No
great
Dreams
because
by
I've
Stephen
seen a lot of
Leftovers.
Binging with Babish, and he's made like popular dishes from TV shows. Like, this is actually like a really amazing like piece of
It was very tasty.
culinary artistry that
Yeah.
I've completed. And he just made that. And he goes, "That's
When
fine."
he goes, it's all right. Yeah, it was pretty tasty.
That's
He's
just
like,
what a perfect like metaphor for.
I mean, but it's. Have you seen? There's that video, that one kid that like takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
And he's like, I
hate-
want sexual. It's like,
I hate it. I hate
stop
it.
it, man. Stop it. Go home. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Take a shower. Drink some warm milk. Put your pajamas on. Go to damn sleep.
And lie on the floor
Lie on the
with
floor.
your face.
Do it for
in-
your family.
Yeah.
Do it for your friends. Do it for all of us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree
just
with you.
anyway. Just most fan bases will have a sector that's just
insufferably.
yeah.
Like they deserve to be
Mhm.
indefinitely quarantined in a rundown Holiday Inn off the interstate. Next, check that one off the box. we gotta buy one out, and it's like like a Shutter Island for all these like demented fans.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's pretty.
It'd be fitting, right?
Hey,
what's your favorite David Lynch movie?
Mulholland Drive.
Good one.
Pretty easily.
But the correct answer is Blue Velvet.
I haven't seen Blue Velvet yet, so
The correct answer is Blue Velvet.
I'm sure I will love it.
The correct answer is Blue Velvet.
I love me some Kyle Mack.
What about Mulholland Drive stood out to you?
It didn't hit me until after I watched it and like read up on it.
Oh,
that
yeah?
the second half of the movie, like the first half of the movie, was a dream.
Oh, that's
Spoiler
right.
alert! Don't watch.
Right, there you go.
Sorry.
The second half is all
Yeah, so like it's at first I didn't understand what was going on because like it's the same person but existing like in two complete like two like parallel universes
dimensions
where one of them is really dark and one of them is really and then I looked it up and it was like, holy crap, they're connected just in that one. It was kind of blew my mind.
That's like that's like Twin Peaks but to the nth degree. I mean, David Lynch is just so. He has such a fanciful and like, nonchalant like way in which he interprets like complex like interdimensional realities that exist on multiple planes in multiple timelines with multiple lives of singular people, and it's like he's just so laid back about that.
You haven't seen the third season of Twin Peaks, have you?
I've seen a couple episodes, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
I can't. I mean, I don't have Showtime, so I can't watch it. So. Because the thing about Twin Peaks is, like, I love it, and I love, like, the music, I love the characters, I love the kind of atmosphere about it, but because I've only seen those first two seasons, it doesn't feel very complete, and I still am not sure what it's actually about. Because it all seems unresolved, and I doubt that the third season is going to help out with that, but...
It doesn't really.
But,
just presents some more problems.
It's just, I feel like it's just more of a great example of just like his craft as far as like building a world.
That's true. Yeah,
I think it does a better job of that than actually like coming up with cohesive storyline.
Plot line. No, that's. I mean, that's if that were his goal, if he did interviews about it, and he was like, "That was what I was said, that's what I set out to do," he would have,
and they'd be like, "Elaborate on that."
Yeah,
no.
right. No. Yeah. I believe God is gay. He's great, man. I don't. There's a great video on YouTube where he's like talking about his childhood, and he was like, when I was 15, I collected roadkill brains and formaldehyde, and I was living in Philadelphia when I was 24 years old, and my father came and visited me one day, and he said, "David, we got to get you to a mental hospital. You got all these brains on your wall." He's like, "My dad just didn't understand my artistic passions." He's just like, there's just no one else quite like him. Yeah,
so quirky.
He's very quirky. That's the word, man.
I saw a tweet. There was pictures of him like at red carpets or whatever. It's like, this is what your grandma looks like when you leave the house.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's fair. Yeah. Have you
love
seen?
Love him.
Have you seen the one where it's someone was like, it was a tweet and they were like trying to like differentiate and remember, and it was like David Byrne, like normal
yes,
suit,
yes.
like big hair.
Small head, big suit. David Lynch, big head, normal suit.
Big head, normal suit.
Oh, keep forgetting.
350.
Oh my god, I love that. I listened to Remain in Light again for the first time in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And I come to appreciate it a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
The first time I was like, "This is good," but is it like a classic?
That's you have to. I think part of their appeal is to those who lived in the generation in which they were popular, and they were like groundbreaking.
Yeah, no, I bet like especially because it came out in the '80s.
Right, music for
like
for
nothing
those
sounded
people.
like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but you're right. You listen to it now, and you're like, well,
Yeah, no, it grew on me a significant amount. I actually like I like the latter half, the like slower songs. I think I like those a little bit more.
Those are really
Although The Great Curve is an absolute banger.
That's a good one.
Such a good groove.
Is Born Under Punches on that record?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it is the first one. Good song.
There's something missing with that track for me.
Yeah, I agree.
There's not like not a lot of bass or something.
In the same way that it's kind of I don't know. Have you ever seen that that one the movie called True Stories, the one that David Byrne. So he like wrote a movie and like did like a storyboard for it, and he took it to Stephen Tobolowsky, who played a character in one of the seasons of Silicon Valley. He's an actor. He's from Dallas, he took it to Stephen Tobolowsky. They were like friends, and he was like. He showed him these drawings that he had in the wall of his house. David Byrne showed Stephen Tobolowsky drawings. Right. And he was like, I made these drawings. Like, what if they could be like a real movie, like True Stories? Yeah. And then they filmed this movie at like North Park. And then like in and around
like
the
you
Dallas
mean North
Metroplex.
Park?
Yep.
What?
Back in the 90s.
Oh my god.
And it's supposed to be
That's awesome.
It's supposed to be an alright movie, but I thought it was funny that David Byrne had a foray in the DFW.
He seems like kind of an Andy Warhol type who's like he's gonna try everything once.
Right, give it a shot.
Yeah,
like Miles Davis and
here it
is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look. We're looking at the Wikipedia page.
Read it up. We're looking at the Wikipedia page.
He's directed by David Byrne, starring John Goodman of all people.
That's right. He's in it too. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I have read the Wikipedia page a couple times.
Okay, all right. I'll have to add that to my running list of movies I should see. You want to look at my movies I should watch?
Yes, please.
Because there's a lot of movies that are important that I haven't seen. What did you drop?
I dropped another one of these.
Were you just fiddling?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
You fiddler.
I'll stop fiddling. What's on your movie list, Matthew? Michael.
Thanks, Tevin. I'm going to give you a different one every time.
That's where that works. I'll do...
All right, so Kramer. Mr.
Wow, I was gonna build the levels in my apartment.
The Seinfeld 2000 did a picture of George that was like, you know what would be a good name? Culture.
Have you seen the one?
Oh, I've seen them all, dude.
Hold on, I gotta show you this. I gotta show you this photograph. Oh my god. Holy shoot. This one's gonna make me fart.
Right at. We're trying to live in a society here. Oh my god, I'm like, it's so poorly edited too.
Have you seen that Brandon Wardell tweet where he was like, literally, why did George Costanza ever get so much ass? Like,
yeah. It's like his perpetual problem is he feels like he's not getting enough, but then he does.
He's
though.
so nice, like, and he's like perpetually cranky, like.
Yeah. Okay, so this is in alphabetical order, but I'm gonna give you like my top priority ones.
Please, no, send them.
So, Birdman.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like I would love that. From what I've heard about it,
the score is amazing,
and the whole like one take thing.
The one take thing.
I feel like that would blow my mind.
I think there are a couple shots where they have to stop it, but like. It's like for the most part, it is like one serialized.
It's at least like edited to be, Boyhood's another one that I haven't seen. Yeah, that like of course you have to see.
That's good. Texas movie.
Empire Records, I've never seen.
That's an interesting one. You might have to watch that one in a good mood because I don't think that'll do much for you if you're looking for like critical.
Oh no, no, it's a cult movie.
Yeah, it's kind
of a '90s flick, so I feel just for the fun.
Liv Tyler and record executives and wearing geeks.
Yeah. There's some other fun. There's some like obscure like French New Wave movies here too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A couple very.
The Lost in Translation I've never seen.
Ooh, another good one. Sofia Coppola really appropriately puts that song. Oh, what's it? Is it called "Sometime" by My Bloody Valentine?
Sometimes.
That's I couldn't remember if it's got an S or no S.
Yeah, I heard it had a good soundtrack.
There's that song is in it and it's at a really good. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Garden State.
Also a good one. Recently saw that.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a little like, it's kind of short and it's very Zach Braffy in the sense that it's like like most of the score is Coldplay and like, he gets away with
and that one Postal Service cover by Iron and Wine.
And he gets away with being, just his own goddamn self. But
is it a comedy? Or is it a drama? I'm not sure. I don't remember.
A comedy, drama, romance thing. I don't know.
Dramedy and romance.
Dramedy, romance.
Dramedy. Yeah, those are pretty much the big names.
Those are the biggies.
Yeah. There's this one that I'm really interested in seeing that is a Tokyo Story. Have you heard of that?
I haven't, no.
It's an old Japanese film from like like the 40s maybe. It's really old.
It's a good.
But the whole like cinematography ideal with it, or that what made it boundary pushing is that like it was right when like Western films started getting really into the 180 style of like dialogue where it had one person on one side. And it like that was like the template was kind of coming into play,
right? Yeah,
which is everywhere nowadays.
It's true.
But this film like eschewed that, and instead had his own like I think he called it 360-degree rule, where all the dialogue was the character would be facing the camera.
Huh.
So it would like the characters would be sitting in a circle, and every time the character talked, it would be pointing directly at them.
Huh.
I don't know. I saw a video about it and it piqued my interest.
Looks intriguing. That's I mean, a concept like that put into the form of a like full feature length movie.
The movies I'm interested in seeing are less about the stories and more about like the art form.
Yeah, right. The cinematography as a means of producing a work of art. No, that's fair. Not necessarily bottle.
I want to become a pretentious film buff.
Bottling a narrative, yeah, right. But just like seeing a movie that looks pretty and perhaps has good dialogue too. I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So, it's 9:03.
Oh, it is 9:03.
Did you open the Snapchat from Tyler? I never looked at it.
I haven't opened it yet. No, let me open it.
You open it because I'm recording.
Sure.
Oh, I got an email from DistroKid.
It says trying to listen, but it says server is down.
The server's down?
Oh no.
What the? We're not even live?
All these people drinking Lover's Spin.
What?
Broken social scene.
Oh, he's on. Let's open it on the browser and see if it's actually going. You're listening
to teeth to learn how to quit.
You're listening to the Martini Police. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Swallowing once.
Is this on?
Giving head.
Yeah, it is on. Yeah, I don't know if it's on. Might not be on. Yeah, we might not even be on the air. I don't know.
Really?
I don't really care, honestly, though.
Me neither.
Because we're gonna.
Fun.
Yeah, we're still doing it. We're pretending.
We're rocking.
We feel like we're live.
That's true. I'd like to.
I want to. Let's put this on blast. I just noticed this. Zachary Royal reviewed the Florence and the Machine album High as Hope.
Who? Florence plus the Machine.
Florence plus the Machine equals
Idiot.
equals 5 out of 10.
Yeah. But isn't that the way they stylized the? That's the way they stylized the name. I'm almost certain.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
That's what Pitchfork gave it. 5 out of 10.
Ouch.
This one, anyway.
High as Hope.
This guy rated it 9 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Very, very high praise.
Good score.
Let's read the Florence and the Machine's fourth album is a vast musical landscape that effortlessly manages to shift from soft murmurs to quiet confessions to skyscraping vocals and chill-inducing ululation. I'm guessing he meant to say elation. Or I don't know what that word is.
Probably undulation.
Undulation?
Yeah, which is like reverberation.
Search Google for ululation. Oh no, it's a Latin word meaning long, wavering, high-pitched vocal sound. I don't know if that's how I would describe Florence's voice.
Me neither.
The poetic, deeply personal lyrics. Deeply personal. Backed by a lush instrument arrangement from co-producer Emil Haney and contributors such as Kamasi Washington
And Jamie XX.
Those are some... Okay, now I'm kind of interested.
Big names.
Makes this album a stunning experience.
Yeah, you are bashing. I think it's a...
I mean, their last one I really didn't like.
Well, that's fair, but...
And then the Ceremonials one is the one that I actually, kind of thought was okay.
We shouldn't bash Zachary. Zachary,
you're absolutely entitled to your opinion. I'm
good
sure
review.
you really, yeah.
Well written, but right.
I'm sure it's a great review. I mean, the summary is good.
That's true, but I can't...
I never thought of the word ululation.
That's true. You learn a new one. I can't help but agree with you, though, in the context of Florence and the Machine, in a general sense. Fortress Fest is coming next week. Just kidding.
Yeah, this is really old.
Late April.
Yeah. I'd rather listen to I don't know. Would you consider a good alternative? That's kind of like Florence and the Machine, but you like more.
God's Favorite Customer.
Oh, by
John Misty.
That one.
Yeah.
We will not speak his name.
by
Joshua.
Paul Bearer.
By Paul Bearer?
Paul Bearer, Stephen Snow. Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say Paul Bearer, like the metal band.
By Paul Bearer, yeah. By Varg Vikernes, yeah.
Oh my god.
By the Church Burner.
You know we're actually doing a black metal album next time. I'm not gonna spoil it.
No, please don't.
So let's talk about the album now that we're way over time.
That's a good point. We are. Yeah. Okay. So
We're talking about
Stakes is High.
Stakes is High by De La Soul, released in '96.
96. I was gonna say. Yeah.
Their fourth record.
That.
So
Fourth record.
I assume that you have a
After Balloon Mindset, right?
What?
Is it After Balloon Mindset? Do you know?
The album?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't have that comprehensive of knowledge about them.
It might go boom, but it won't go boom.
And I was assuming that you did. I think you would consider yourself a pretty big De La Soul fan, right?
Not really.
I don't know. You talk about them a lot.
Do I?
To me.
They got...
Maybe just because you...
Balloon Mindset was the second.
Okay.
I guess I think I just had that record in my car.
Yeah, that's why. Because it just came on.
But you're right. I
think you're more familiar with them than I am.
Big fan. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. This was... Have you heard about this record before?
This particular one that we're trying to talk about? No,
yeah,
I haven't. The only one I knew about was that debut.
Oh, all right. So, yeah. That's a good one, too.
Yeah. because I was kind of exploring the golden age stuff from the 80s.
From the 80s.
Listened to some Slick Rick. I listened to Eric B. and Rakim, and I listened to 3 Feet High and Rising.
Those are some really, really good
and Paid in Full was easily the one that I loved the most.
That's I mean, you listen to anything from Eric B. and Rakim, but Paid in Full is particularly amazing. You're right. Yeah. That's really where, they showed their talent at an early age.
Slick Rick, I can understand why he was like a pioneer, but all of his songs sound exactly the same, and the beat is like, it's like almost no beat. Yeah. It's just drums. It is. And like maybe a little bit of a sting during the chorus.
That's, and then it's
but
like...
it's just drums.
It was a weird, it was a strange meeting of minds when you combine, like the Sugar Hill Gang with Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. And you get what I believe is like, the modern equivalent of, of 90s hip-hop. But, like, it was odd how it was like we were trying it from all these different pathways, and it was finally in the 80s when I think we realized, like, oh, this is what hip-hop sounds like.
Right, yeah.
But
it's still kind of cloudy for me, like, where it came from. Like, how, as far as, like, how they decided to just, like, have a DJ play a drum loop and then have someone like speak over it.
I think that can be traced back to A Tribe Called Quest, and in particular Midnight Marauders, which came out around the same time.
Was that in the 80s?
All those. It wasn't that. It was the early 90s, but it was like I think one of their earliest records in that, or perhaps it was.
No, I think it was before that. Because like one of the first hip hop song, when someone asked me what was one of the first hip hop songs ever, I think "The Breaks" by Curtis Blow.
That's an early one, yeah. 93, yeah.
Because that was kind of more of like a dance song.
That's true.
But with a rapper on it.
Well, but it's. I mean, I think when you're talking about right, and that's a good point. But I think when you're right. And that's a good song. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about, at least I think when you're talking about, that this kind of hip hop that you're describing.
The golden age.
Yeah, the golden age. I do think it starts with someone like A Tribe Called Quest. I think that's where that sound can be like. That's kind of like if you looked into an encyclopedia for that particular sound, that 90s hip hop that became the basis for what hip hop is now. Then you could argue that if you looked into an encyclopedia, you'd find, in my opinion, Midnight Marauders.
Okay.
Which is a very good record, but not the one.
I think. I don't know. I would think Tribe Called Quest did more to set the stage for jazz rap and the 90s sound, which is what I think this album is. Stakes is High.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Stakes is High was the album that kind of moved us all away from the golden age style.
Right. That's true.
And then into the kind of just boom bap.
Okay, yeah, flavor. So I guess I think I was misinterpreting. No, that was my bad. I was misinterpreting golden age versus 90s hip hop. I think I mostly just figured.
When I say golden age, I mean the 80s.
Right, yeah, got it.
Like the very beginning.
3 Feet High and Rising and Me, Myself and I and yeah. Right. No, I get that. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. Yeah. No, totally. That was my bad. Yeah.
I'm just going to have this
Thank
here.
you for... No, good point.
Drake's In My Feelings is exploding in popularity on Genius and could be his next number one hit.
His face.
You think so?
Sure. Yeah, God, really?
Yeah, that's my reaction to that. I was like, what?
Matthew is... Michael is so disgusted at hearing such news.
I'm grimacing. I'm grimacing at this.
Will you make the face you made when you
I listened to this whole album. I don't remember this song at all.
Yeah, but it seems like people really do.
2.2 million views.
Is that really? Oh my god, and it's got 993 people looking at it right now.
Is that what that means?
I think that's what that means, yeah. What the hell? Oh, he's got some authenticated, some verified annotations.
Yeah, that's viewing right now. There are 1,006 people looking at the lyric page for In My Feelings on Genius.
Right at this moment.
That is sad.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's
unbelievable.
I know.
What the hell, man?
I guess, maybe he isn't. Maybe he is on the up and up. Maybe Drake is just still good.
He's pushing back up.
Against all odds. So here we are, and the stakes is high. This is a 17-track album. 16 if you don't count the intro.
It's
I don't
true.
know if you count that as...
You don't count the intro? I would.
I mean, yeah, I guess it has verses, so...
It does have some verses.
Yeah.
And some pretty good ones.
I didn't... I kind of assumed right out the gate that I would be unprepared for this review because with a rap album, it's really, especially with a rap album of this era, it's really the lyrics that are the focus.
That's true.
And it takes a really long time for me to soak in lyrics with an album like this. So
I agree.
I only have kind of a cursory grasp of what each song is about.
Just a vague idea.
And I didn't really take any notes either, I'll be honest. I did rank the songs and like what are my favorites and what are my nots.
So you said what's on top?
My favorite is Breaks, this one.
Good song. Yeah.
Which does actually reference The Breaks, the song The Breaks.
That's true.
Because there's one part, bringing it back to the breaks like yes, yes, y'all.
Yeah.
Which is a line from that song.
From that song.
So
there you go. That's true.
Yeah.
Good
pretty fun song.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's your initial impressions of this, I guess?
Well, as I explained to you,
or what pushed you to choose this one?
To pick this one. I think it's a record that symbolizes that transition in hip hop in a way that's like kind of difficult to exactly note, like except when you see it in the context of a group like De La Soul that moved from their sound on 3 Feet High and Rising to, it seemed sort of like a compromising record, and an attempt to assimilate their style, or rather to assimilate themselves into the style that was oncoming. And that's why I think it's such a transformation between the two records that I think it deserves some discussion. This one gets kind of put in the
it's kind of a deep cut.
It is. It's kind of a deep cut. But the title track, I first heard about this record when I watched the Yola Tango "What's in My Bag" Amoeba video. Have you seen that one? It's a good one. James McNew picks the
single.
He picks the single "Stakes Is High," the 7-inch. And it's a great song. That's a Dilla production, and he did the Ahmad Jamal sample on that one. So that's a really good sample. JD, rest in peace. But besides that, I hadn't known much about the record, and I think I heard about it then, listened to a couple tracks, and sort of more or less like, removed its presence in my memory until I listened to it last week and got reminded of it. But
cool.
I think that's kind of why I picked it. Is I think it doesn't stand so proudly in that era of hip hop as other records do, but it's still a work of art. It's still
I think this is a significant part of this group's discography because it really is kind of like, and I imagine especially when it came out, it might have been quite a stark shift in sound.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like their like native tongues style that they started out with was very
popular.
Much more like
it was
kind of uplifting kind of style, and more positive. I don't know,
pop art. Yeah. It was like it was like the colorful stencil produced pop art of music. Yeah,
right. And this is just more like they actually want to go in on topics and kind of just focus on just like raw lyricism.
They want to show their lyrical ability. And
I mean I've read a lot of the lyrics and it says on Wikipedia and all that kind of stuff that they primarily talking about the state of hip hop on this album.
That's true. Yeah.
Which I find interesting because
important topic.
For 1996, I mean, hip hop is only a decade old at this point. So it's just very interesting to me, like at this early in the genre's like evolution, people are already talking about like hip hop used to be something else. Like it's just evolved so far, and that's something that a lot of rappers still talk about to this day.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's true.
It's just very interesting to see like a lot of hip hop is just meta analysis.
Yeah, let's consider
a lot of rap is talking about itself
versus what we are now. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, literally Super MCs is just like whatever happened.
Yeah, I would say Super MCs is kind of. I would say that's kind of like a mantra for this album.
Yeah.
And it's one, and it is one of like it's on the top half of my one of my favorite tracks, because it's got a really good hook. Yeah, which is Slick Rick sample. So they're already calling back to that kind of era that they're trying to call attention to.
Yeah, that's true.
So
they harken back to the to the glory days.
Yeah, so they right out of the gate on the second track they're already being like, okay, this is what we're going to address.
We're already, you're right. They already induced this meta-analysis.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this record, like, I think it definitely started strong, and not in the sense that, like, I liked what they were doing for the first couple tracks, but then I think the first couple tracks were some of the best on the record.
Yeah.
And then, it wavered at points.
It is quite long.
It is. It's pretty long.
I think it could be
average
trimmed down.
3.5, 4 minutes, 17 songs in total.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 10 minutes about.
Yeah, so it's a lengthy record. But as is, 3 Feet High and Rising, and that one was pretty popular.
Yeah,
so I figured if we do it again, then it'll get just as big. But
perhaps.
I particularly liked Four More. I thought that song was.
Four More's a pretty good one.
That one I think was. I remember hearing that this morning, and the piano sample particularly struck me because it's just I think that song is symbolic of some of the like production, lyrical dynamic that permeates throughout the record. It's this idea that like De La Soul are deliberately kind of quieting some of their characteristics, some of their tropes in an effort to. To pay homage to an oncoming wave of darker and more reality.
Just kind of more raw, I guess.
Yeah, a more reality, authentic hip hop. Yeah, that's more raw, less edited. Yeah.
There are a few tracks on here that feature this singer Jeanne.
That's true.
Where it's kind of like. I think a style that wouldn't become like really in vogue until the late 90s and early 2000s, where you kind of have this cross between hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
Where you'd have this really
Fugees
talented, exactly, style like that, where it's like a really over the top female vocal talent doing like the chorus.
Yeah.
And you'd have a rapper.
Yeah. I mean, you see, right? You listen to Killing Me Softly, and you listen to. You Got Me from, Things Fall Apart, The Roots. Yeah, I mean, that's, what is that, Erykah Badu on that song, I think, yeah. You're right, yeah. I mean, that's not something that came into popularity until a couple years later, but that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of, like you said, ushering in the next generation with this, so.
I find it funny that Mos Def is on the song called Big Brother Beat, and Black Star has this song called Little Brother. But it's like they're not even really paying.
Okay.
It's a good song, but that's
that's very interesting.
And I love the sample on that one at the beginning is very good.
Is this the one where it's the like redneck talking about how he doesn't like rap
at the end? Yeah,
that's kind of
N-word singing,
kind of a cunning moment. It's like
that's a blunt sound.
Yeah, it's just like this is.
You're not
kidding. This is literally what people think of us right now.
And it was like that sounded like a voice memo and like a honky talk. I was just so. It's an effort to.
That I mean that is kind of the reality of it, and that's what, especially like me being a white guy and raised the way I was, like that's. Kind of what I was taught to think about this kind of genre.
About this kind of music.
Because it's not really musical, it's just talking.
It's just talking. And see, that's still the criticism to this day.
Yeah, it's definitely a stigma.
No, I agree.
Certainly generally in the pop-osphere, it's become less of an issue.
Pop-osphere. That's a good way of putting it.
I don't know what you would call it, the pop world.
I would use the same term. No, that's true. It has hip-hop has such a commanding grasp on, like, the modern musical landscape of America in the world, rather. But, it's crazy to, like, literally, for months, there was a man who sang a song, that was just skibidi-bop-bop, and that was so popular.
Which one are you talking about?
Man's Not Hot.
Oh, yeah.
So popular. Unbelievably popular. And
the thing goes bop!
It's. I mean, it's just.
That's more of a meme, I think, than just.
Well, it's
like,
true, but that's. I mean, it's an epitome of the fact that hip hop can take a position in the world stage. But that's true. That was more of.
I think an example of why.
Have you seen There's a great video of someone edited out the noise of Big Ben making its last chimes, and it was like they recorded it on the BBC before they did repairs on Big Ben. They had it play its last chimes, and they were like, "Well, listen closely in," and it was like. Skibbity pop pop. It's like
that's great.
Yeah. Well, what were you, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
What were you saying?
I was gonna try and think of a good example of how that exemplifies how hip hop is like the main force in pop right now.
Correct.
But I can't really think of it. I mean, like, I guess Gucci Gang is a great example.
That's true.
Because everyone, even if you haven't heard the song, you know the phrase.
You know the phrase, yeah. You've heard the hook.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
I don't know. There's just and I mean right now the world of K-pop is kind of coming our direction.
Oh yeah,
and it's very much influenced by American hip hop.
I agree. So there are some clear and blunt examples. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in an unacceptable way.
But, in a way that I don't feel comfortable with.
We're not gonna, we won't agitate the K-pop stands. But
do we have a lot of K-pop stands listening?
Do we have any K-pop stands listening? My girlfriend is really, if she's listening, Mackenzie is super into K-pop.
Really?
It's great. She's turned me on to some really cool stuff. But
it is a pretty
bad parts of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There's good and there's bad stuff. There are some gems that have really stood out to me. I have to say, I think I've said this before. J-pop stands out more to me. There's a lot more stuff for me to like.
Pop.
Like city pop? Is that what you're saying?
Heard? That's like a subgenre of J-pop.
No, but I probably would like it.
Pop.
I love Kyary Pamu Pamu. Is one of my favorite.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Just very extremely colorful.
Oh yeah.
K-pop's a little more commercialized, but there's still some really good songs, as well as really, really well done music videos.
Oh yeah,
because that's a huge market over there.
Oh my god, amazing! Yeah. But no, you're right. You listen to you heard. I guess it's not super J-poppy, but Shugo Tokomaru's.
Oh, I love Shugo Tokomaru.
Amazing. Yeah, fantastic. He's great.
He's so fun.
He's quite a blast.
Someone called him Toy Box Pop. That's how I feel like it is, because it's like he's got all these kind of weird miscellaneous gizmos popping off.
Spin that, do this.
Yeah. Like literally, he did a session with KVRX. No, not KVRX. That's you. KEXP.
Oh, that's right.
Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the people in the band literally just had a table full of like toys that they would just like pick up and
this, twist that. Yeah. It's cute. Thanks, man.
That was our local affiliate from the student union saying that we're closing at 10.
12 came by to shut us down. They won't do it, but they'll try.
They will. We're gonna leave promptly.
They will. Yeah.
We have to succumb to the rules
if we don't. Hey, I want to talk about how.
Hey, have you heard De La Soul?
Have you heard De La Soul next time? Let's bring him back in here. Yeah. I want to talk about how I think it was Plug One name dropped David Koresh in Better Listen. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, I think so. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about like the three individual members because it was kind of difficult for me to tell them apart sometimes.
Was it in Better Listen?
David, what did you say it was?
Wait, will you go back to the track listing? I thought it was in this song.
Maybe which one was it in?
Maybe it's in It's So Hot.
It's So Easy Hot?
It's So Easy Hot.
Yes.
There it is.
But yo, she burned up my scene. She burned my scene up like David Koresh.
David Koresh, yeah, that's he was the leader of the Branch Davidians in Waco in the 90s, and they were crazy religious sect, and he was a man that he like claimed that like, you know, every member of his religious sect was like gonna go to heaven, and that he was the prophet on earth, and that like he was bound to have like plentiful sex with everyone's wives. And he had like 20 children. And,
that's convenient.
It was like a lot of them were with underage. He's a terrible, terrible guy. But there was this highly publicized standoff between him and the ATF in the 90s, and they ended up they ended up setting fire to their compound, and himself and like 90 other people died.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's what that line is in reference
and
to.
very never would have guessed such a reference in this song.
It's true. Yeah, that's you know.
Yeah, some of the stuff I don't get because
it's tight. Yeah, these 90s pop culture references.
And also, this isn't plug 1. This is Dove. Plug 2.
Oh, okay.
See,
yeah.
so I told you like. I don't know how to pronounce any of their like actual stage names.
Yeah,
like Postunus.
Yes, but Postunus. Yeah,
Postunus.
So you got Postunus, you got Dove, and then you have
Trugoy the Dove.
Trugoy the Dove. Yeah.
Which I read is literally just yogurt backwards.
Yep. Yeah.
Because he likes yogurt. Like what the?
There's the first skit on 3 Feet High and Rising. It's like a little questionnaire thing, and one of the questions is,
oh, does he say that?
What does touche at lele poo mean? Which just means shut the hell up backwards.
Oh, I remember that.
Sounds like it's something in French. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's yogurt. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Another good song.
I think plug 1 has most of my favorite verses here.
Oh yeah.
Especially on Once Again Long Island.
Good song. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones. Yeah, there are a lot of a decent handful of tracks that specifically talk about Long Island, which is where they're based in.
From Amityville, yeah.
Which is another one of those kind of topics where I feel like it would be much more significant to like the listeners of that time.
Yeah.
Because at this time, hip-hop was very much location-based, because you had the East Coast versus the West Coast versus the South, and like all that kind of kind of stuff going on. So
I agree with that. Yeah,
a lot of it is
you have to.
They're like name checking their place of origin.
Your native listeners, to see if to hang on to that one. They even just from like some of those voicemails, in the intro where they're asking where they were when they heard.
Criminal Minded?
Yeah, Criminal Minded. There was that one, I was
which is something that I added to my list of things I need to listen to, because that's another album.
That's another good one. Yeah.
That's a classic that I haven't heard.
It is.
And
this was about around the same time. Oh, actually, no, I haven't heard Criminal Minded. I'll have to add that one to my list.
It said Criminal Minded is, I looked it up, it's by Boogie Down Productions, which is like a really, really old group. Huh. It came out in 87.
KRS-One, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so that's pretty... This is Golden Age.
This is Golden Age, yeah.
Yeah.
And
it says proto-gangster rap.
Huh.
So
the earliest. Fair enough, yeah. No, nice to... Thank you for...
You're welcome. That's good.
Yeah, it's true. we'll both go to it. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, this record came out, I think, around the same time as Illmatic, which I think...
Yes, it did. No, Illmatic came out in 94, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's the same
idea, same
years.
Bubble. I know.
Yeah, no, Illmatic
raised some... Yeah, and which is a good one, but...
It shook the country and still does today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It raised some serious... Because and so I think... A lot of people credit Illmatic as being like kind of the like second wind of like East Coast hip hop, and I like to think that this is kind of De La Soul's like, later attempt at following on that same burst of energy.
Perhaps.
And I think you can absolutely hear it in a lot of these tracks. Stakes is High in particular sounds a lot like The World Is Yours in a number of different ways.
Yeah, and at one point on this album they name check. It's not on this one. I think it's on Better Listen. They name check Mobb Deep.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Which their record, The Infamous. They're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, that was also a very landmark album of that time.
That's true. Yeah,
and one that I do like a lot.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So
good. No, you're right. It's all this. Yeah. This.
They're all kind of
community.
Yeah, they're just trying to like. It's all about the like connections. I feel like in their lyrics, they're always referencing each other,
being aware of
like where like what their role is in the grander kind of circle.
Of things. No, you're right. It's true. Yeah, a very fair point.
How do you do this? I prefer this to breaking out my laptop every time.
That's fair. Use the computer here.
Yeah.
How do you? So how do you feel about this song in the context of like some of these, you know, seminal 90s East Coast hip-hop records like Midnight Marauders or like Illmatic.
Are you talking about the song Stakes is High or the album?
Record.
How do I feel about it in the context of everything else?
Yeah. How do you think
well, of course,
holds its weight?
I have, like, there's a bias because, I mean, of course, I didn't hear about this until you brought it up to me, and I had heard of the other ones that we talked about.
Yeah.
I had already heard the Infamous and Illmatic, and...
had you heard Balloon Mindset?
No, I haven't heard Criminal Minded either. But I had heard West Coast stuff too, like Straight Outta Compton and The Chronic and stuff like that. So, so I don't think it has as big of a cultural kind of pull to it. But I think as an album in itself, I think it is an artistic feat in that it's kind of this group regaining relevancy that they had.
Perhaps.
That might have drifted off after their... Because this is 3 albums after their really popular album.
That's true. Yeah,
so,
this was their 4th record.
So this is kind of the one that kind of really put them back on the map. Or at least kind of like showcase them in the context of this next kind of era that would come forth in hip-hop of jazz rap. And
kind of put their finishing touch on that era,
right? And I think this would come in tandem with the Low End Theory, which I think came out the same year. I don't know. Oh, this came out in 91. Okay, never mind. But
you see, I don't even.
So the Tribe Called Quest are kind of in the same vein.
It's true.
So
around the same time. Marauders was, what, 93?
93. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Beats, Rhymes, and Life was 96. What's on? Oh, yeah.
The Love Movement, 98. That's another big one.
That is a good one. JD on that one a lot. The Uma is a production trio of JD, I think, Fife, and Q2.
Oh, and Q2. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's cool.
I know, it's Shahid. Yeah, Ali Shahid. It's the 3 of them, yeah.
Okay.
But, so
that's the best answer I can give. Honestly, I'm still not super fluent in this era of music. So
no, I feel, and there's a lot to there's a lot.
I'm sure there's like a huge assuming we had listeners, there would be a huge hip hop head that would be like, "Well, everything you're saying is wrong."
Yeah. What?
So I don't know.
How do you think this fits in then to your knowledge of hip hop and your experience with is this a record that you think is congruent with a lot of your interests in hip hop or?
I think it's more lyrical.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a huge
lyrics. Yeah.
Well, I'm way more into the sound.
Yeah.
My favorite hip hop albums of all time are ones that have pushed the boundaries of the instrumental.
Yeah.
And how hip hop can work with other genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, DG's a good example, and Kendrick's a good example. His new stuff is just incredible, and MF Doom stuff as well. Yeah. And
agree with that.
That's another example.
I
had a list.
Oh, the Quell.
Quelle Chris, yes.
Chris, yeah.
Oh God, his stuff is
Great
so
good.
Yeah, my favorite rap that I've heard is stuff that's coming out nowadays.
Yeah.
So. But I can recognize classics like this one and some of my favorites. Have you heard of Dr. Octagon?
Oh yeah,
his debut is one of my favorites as well.
Was that Blue Flowers? Did you do that?
No, I'm talking about Octagon Ecologists.
Well, did Kool Keith do Blue Flowers?
Probably. Kool Keith, is. Yeah.
Sorry.
He did. That's okay.
I know it's kind of off.
Oh, it is Dr. Octagon. Oh, it is on that album.
Huh.
So there you go. So yeah, you're right.
There you go.
Okay, I just...
No, that's... I didn't...
Yeah, but no, this is a good album. And, but yeah, I like the ones that are kind of, left field a little bit, I guess. But that's just me. So, but I can recognize this album as a kind of...
important piece.
Context builder.
Yeah.
Because, it really did kind of make me realize that a lot of rap in this time is kind of introspective, they're looking on the genre inwardly and being where how far have we come from the previous generation?
Yeah.
And like I said, this meta-analysis. So
that's true. Yeah. Looking at these things in a wider
So yeah, I think that this has like kind of made me acknowledge that a really important part of hip hop is kind of like analyzing it for yourself, like as a rapper,
as a means of like, you know, tracing back
the lineage and like furthering the craft like past that. So
yeah, good point. No,
I guess that's my overall like take of like what this album's significance to me.
Why it would be important. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I see that.
But again, I'm probably not like, all honesty, I won't remember a lot of the lyrics, and I just remember the really good hooks or the really nice instrumentals.
Tasty backing tracks.
Yeah.
You noted something when we were listening to 3 Feet High and Rising on the way back from the show, was that the vocals seemed to. What was your comment?
I said on 3 Feet High Rising, it sounded like for something where the lyrics were a big part, it sounded like the vocals were mixed really low.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Which was something I didn't quite understand. But in this album, which I think the similar mixing is here, I kind of acclimated myself to it because I think it did a better job of kind of instilling the vibe. I feel like if the beat wasn't as crucial, I mean, it isn't as crucial as the lyrics, but if it was brought like further down in importance and in volume, then the lyrics might be a little more overbearing. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I've come to terms with that kind of mixing decision. So
fair point.
Of course, but I do think it got way better towards the end of the 90s and in the 2000s with
later hip hop.
Yeah, with groups like Tribe Called Quest and with MF Doom.
Some of the earlier stuff was kind of the mixing was a little whack. Yeah, that's a fair point.
But I mean, part of that is just that the 80s were like a really early time for like actual production.
Yeah, that's
you didn't have any DAWs or anything,
right,
so
for the kind of production that we now consider conventional. Yeah, good point. Yeah, very true.
So that's my.
That's your take.
That's my take.
What did you eat for
dinner? Is it a hot take? I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh really? It's 9:45. You should eat.
I had lunch like 4:30, so that's why.
Okay, kind of late.
Yeah.
I've got some. If you want a quick bite, after we're done, I have some pozole at the house.
What is that?
You're welcome to take some. It's hominy and tomatillo salsa and chicken. And
what is hominy?
It's like kind of like corn.
Oh, okay.
It's actually like very much so like corn and potato. It's like corn and potatoes had a baby.
Oh, okay.
That's hominy. Yeah. So if you want to.
That's intriguing. I don't.
You're also welcome to not. Yeah.
I might not. It's okay.
No, I totally get it. That's fine. I probably.
What did you eat?
I ate a lot of hominy before. Yeah.
Do you feel?
I feel good now, but I felt bad earlier.
Yeah.
It's too much hominy. Yeah. I gotta be more careful next time. Because it's like
control your hominy levels.
It's like I see it, you know. I can't. It doesn't. It's not a bright enough color to me to be like, okay, I see what I'm about to eat, and then my brain makes note of it. I'm like, I'm eating this, but then I eat it, and I eat too much of it. And I'm like, I didn't see what I was eating. Then I feel full, and it hurts, man.
So is this dish that you're talking about like a kind of a casserole type?
My stomach hurts.
Oh my god! I didn't even talk about that.
You want to discuss that?
I saw
it's a soup. That's what it is.
Oh, soup. Okay. Yeah, I saw the video and I was like, "What's the big deal?"
Yeah.
Like he's just saying "stomach."
It's my stomach.
I mean, that's kind of cute and funny, but I mean, that's it.
Have you seen that video of Lil Uzi? He like walks up to a school bus.
Yes, yeah.
He talks to that kid.
That is a very heartwarming.
Heartwarming, just touching. Yeah.
I don't really care for Uzi's music, but as a figure, he's
right.
Very kind.
He addresses his audience. He's
a great guy.
Here for the kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that they're like every once in a while I find a new picture of him and some other rapper like wearing really girly stuff, and I'm like,
Jeff clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here for this.
Goth GF looks like.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Do you give me your final take on this album? Do you have one?
Well,
do you have a higher opinion of it than me?
No, I more or less share this.
Do you think it's something that you will return to?
I think my opinion is simpler. I think it's something I'll return to, but in the sense that, like, I just know that one of these days I'll remember that it exists and I'll like check up on it.
Yeah.
See how it's doing.
I would say that.
I don't think I will necessarily listen to it like on my own volition.
Yeah.
Like for pleasure, but I will choose to listen to it probably at a later point. But like.
So your take is simpler? What do you mean by that?
I think I heard it and I was like, okay, yeah, this definitely sounds like De La Soul attempting to, to compensate for their, their elephant in the room-esque like portrayal of like the modern hip-hop transition into the 90s, from 3 Feet High and Rising to Stakes is High. It's like it's like them trying to address like, okay, we're here, like, we'll go along with the rest of the crowd. And it's a good record. There's a lot of really good things about it.
I think so too.
So many really good songs. I remember I found the other day I also pirated this. Just kidding, I didn't. Well, we're off the air, right?
Oh yeah, no,
I pirated this.
We're criminals.
I pirated this illegally. Yeah.
We're such bad boys.
I burned the CD, and there was a period of time when I was in high school, and my tape deck didn't work in my car, so I would just play CDs. And this was one of the ones I listened to, and I remember hearing Super MCs in the Business when I was a lot younger, and I really didn't listen to any other song after that, but those first couple of tracks I really liked. The intro I really liked. Super MCs was really great, and I think Common is great on the Business. And as I was saying earlier, I think it starts strong, and not in the sense that every record starts strong and that you like hold your attention for the first couple songs rather than over the last few, but that it's just the first couple are better than the rest, but then it wanes.
Yeah, I didn't talk about my least favorite track on this.
What's your least favorite song?
Baby, 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 Ooh Baby.
Yeah.
Because it's so monotonous.
It's just, it's like 2 minutes. I don't even understand.
Yeah, it's not even that long, and it's basically mostly hook, and it's not even that good of a hook.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an insignificant contribution to this record that it more or less couldn't exist, and the trajectory of the record would carry on in the same way.
Yeah, I wouldn't notice like a rift in the track listing if it wasn't there.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a good record. It's a good group, and they've gone on to do some really good stuff, and they definitely earned their position in the history of hip hop with 3 Feet High and Rising. This record doesn't really, it doesn't take hold of me as strongly as any other hip hop record in the same era does.
I think at least from this era, there's at least 2 or 3 different albums that I'd rather listen to.
Right into this one, but that sounds similar to this one.
Sure, yeah. I would just if I were to return to this, I probably wouldn't be for the lyrics, but it would be more for just the vibe. Like if I'm really in the mood for kind of jazzy boom bap style, I would maybe play some Low End Theory, maybe play some early 90s, what's the other group that I'm thinking of? I don't know. But this would be in that list, and I'd just be like, I just want to hear more of that kind of style.
Yeah.
So it would just be something to vibe out to, but not really.
Put it on when you smoke and chill with your...
Yeah, when I'm blowing a fat one.
Yeah. And you're eating Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
At the corner of...
just mood AF, man.
At the corner of 138th Street in Ludlow. Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite...
When parents aren't home.
Drama movie is Blood-Sucking Freaks, just like your mama. I love Twizzlers.
And I love hitting the nay-nay.
I love hitting the nay-nay. Is that it? Let me to do it?
I don't even know.
I don't know either. I'm just kind of waving my hand up in the air.
Did you watch my Vine compilation?
I haven't yet. No, I saved the tweet and I was planning on...
You retweeted it.
I didn't even watch it.
Okay.
You know what's the most embarrassing thing about this is I retweeted it and I favorited it partially in an effort to like show everyone this amazing Vine compilation I made, but also just to like remind myself when I
watch
my
it,
Twitter at a later point, like,
I do that
there's
sometimes.
that, yeah, right, and it's like I didn't even think I didn't
It's okay. It's good.
I need to.
The general reception is that it's decent.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I need to check
my big expanding brain scheme was to have the Vine compilation come out a week.
So I'm gonna go home now after you said that. My big expanding brain.
Yeah, I'm the last panel in that meme with this scheme. I was going to put out the Vine compilation. It was going to blow up like all the other Vine compilations do.
I'm the last panel in that meme.
Yeah. Listen to me.
Sorry.
I'm going to put this out. It'll blow up. And then a week later, I'll put out the covers thing. And then people will be like, oh, that's the guy who did that awesome Vine compilation. I'm going to listen to this. Oh, he's so great. Oh, he has original stuff too. Oh, it's so awesome. Oh, everyone loves me now. So
yeah.
That was my big plan.
That was the idea.
Yeah, so far, the video has like 32 views. So.
It's got a couple of likes. 36.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it now. Oh, it's like 20 minutes too.
Yeah, I did a lot of work. And I organized them by who made them.
Ass Pizza.
That's probably my favorite Vine of all time. That one.
That's a really good one.
Just because of how mysterious it is. Like, what's the context of that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
See, it's just like.
Yeah, so I put all the miscellaneous ones at the beginning, and then I organized them by who made them. So there's like, I did like Boys Rule, I did Gabriel Gundecker, I did Dan Curtin, Chloe LMAO, Lily Zella.
The one with the babies, really.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. Sorry, I derailed the whole thing.
No, it was. I was glad to watch a little bit of it, and I'm excited to watch the rest of it, honestly. Yeah. I love, especially because
my goal with it was to make a Vine compilation that would be
different from the others.
Well, yeah, but also it would be the one that's of the ones that I like the most, so I just wouldn't need to watch another Vine compilation again. Anytime I wanted to watch Vines, I would just watch that one.
Watch yours, yeah.
And so far, that's pretty much all I've needed to do.
That works, man. That's smart. Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it did take a long time to like go through several different compilations and pick out the ones that I wanted
to piece it together properly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I think there's something to be said about, you put in the time to do anything and you get a result that's...
Yeah.
I'm back.
I feel like this episode's all about me. I don't want to...
Oh, no, please.
I don't want to take away.
I like talking about it because you've made so much stuff and all of it is very, very good.
Thank you.
High caliber.
I wanted to talk about your revamped version of No Dreams because I noticed when I put it in on Apple Music...
oh, yeah.
You kind of changed up the track listing a little bit.
I think I did mess it up a little bit. I added a couple tracks and I changed some a little bit. I edited them.
I'm pretty sure you took one song off, too.
I think what were the songs that I
don't remember it, because I have both versions.
You have both versions? Okay, yeah, good.
So the one you gave me...
The latest one is very...
Had a song called It Gets So Hard.
Oh, I changed the name of that one.
Oh, you changed the name, so it's still the same
just
song.
Halloween sound effects.
Okay. So the only one you added was Mackenzie and Payne.
And Payne, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that's I'm really pretty. It seems like I've been checking my Bandcamp stats as of late, and it seems like people like it, which is awesome.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy. It's like one of the first records I've made that I think I've been really, really thoroughly happy with.
Yeah, and I think it's very good too. So
thank you.
No,
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I hope it gets some decent streams.
You should put your Vine compilation on you can't put it on YouTube like you. Is there a subreddit where you can put Vine compilations? There has to be a Vine compilation subreddit.
Oh, sure, there is. I'm not on Reddit, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I'll put it there for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to.
Reddit's one of those things where I know if I joined it, it would be all I did.
On it all the time. That's a fair point. It's a very good website in a lot of ways, and it's a very bad website.
Yeah, I've heard some bad stories about bad people on
There's I mean, it's like, there's a whole subreddit devoted to like just glorifying Donald Trump, and then there's another one that's like,
well, that's not surprising.
It's right. There's subreddits for every little purpose, and some of them do spread a little bit more joy than others. But yeah, it's a overall pretty good website. But I'm gonna post yours on the
go right ahead, please do.
Compilation.
One of my favorite things that I've heard Reddit related though is that thing they did for April Fools last year, the r/place. Do you know about that?
No.
It was they did it either last year for April Fools or the year before. It was like a prank, but it wasn't really a prank. It was more of a social experiment where they started a subreddit called r/place, and it was a 1,000,000 pixel by 1,000,000 pixel blank canvas.
Huh.
And users had the opportunity to to change the color of a pixel of their choice every 5 minutes.
Huh.
So what would happen is these groups of people would get together to draw pictures.
Oh my god!
And it's so cool. Like you just like YouTube search it. There's videos about it.
That's amazing.
It's like so fascinating. But yeah, that's the best like Reddit related thing that I've heard about. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Here it is. I see it. r/place time lapse.
Yeah. So that's like this. This is what what it looks like. I mean, it's fast forwarded, obviously,
right,
over the course of 24 hours. But
damn,
see, like there's
fucking
this group.
flags.
There's this group like we're gonna fill the whole thing with blue, and then there's a Rainbow Road. Group.
That's cute. You got these little blotches here and there.
Yeah.
I love the flags too. The flags like there's you see the Brazil flag. And
there's some subreddits who would put their logo in.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Germany.
Yeah, it's like really cool.
This is so tight.
Yeah.
I'll have to check this out later.
Yeah, This Exists did a video about it, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Nice. That is a good YouTube channel.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like this is the least we've talked about the album on one episode.
That's true.
Is
well,
that
this record was. Oh, I would say so, especially because we're off the air. We can.
Yeah, we're so off air right
as
now.
As long as we want. I mean,
off air and off brand.
Technically, that's true. Off air and off brand. But I think I mostly picked this record because I had anticipated it being like a happy medium between a seminal hip hop release and
a terrible one.
Yeah, an unconsidered hip hop release.
Okay.
And that
I think that it is that.
Yeah, I think it still retains some of its critical and commercial success.
Yeah.
But not all of it. Like it's
Oh yeah. Well
it's a very you put this record out on the front lines of your of your battalion because you know that it's going down.
Not gonna get you very far.
It's at least gonna get you something. Yeah. Buy you some time.
It'll be a decent shield for
I
a
just
few
had a really
minutes.
bleak thought.
What is it?
That if you quantified every soldier's death in a war as like an amount of time...
Whoa! I don't even want to hear
it. Ooh, that's bad. Ooh, that's not
We're trying
good.
to keep all smiles over here.
All smiles. All smiles over here. Smiley face.
Oh, smiles. So now we're going to review The Garden's new albums, Mirror My Sleep.
My favorite song on Miramite Still Your Charm 6.5 out of 10 is actually a track.
Shut up.
It's called Call the Dogs Out.
That's a good one.
As Wyatt Shears affectionately named it. Call the Doggies Out.
Yeah.
You can call the doggies out. That is a good one. What's your favorite song on that record?
The Sad Face one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's such a good one. And say probably.
You really liked that was like one of your favorite records, right?
It's like my number 3 right now.
Oh, nice.
But it shifts around a lot. Another one I like on there is the
Transient Entity.
I have to look it up. I have to look up the track list because I'm a plebe.
Track list. You're a noob.
The Gurdon.
Noob plebe.
Yeah, I'm a plebe.
Plebe.
A Message for Myself. Voodoo Luck is good.
Ooh, that is a good song.
Stylish Spit.
Also a good
Make a Wish. Oh, I love Make a Wish.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Like a drunk wizard in my ear, whispering things I'd like to hear. I love his like really exaggerated Californian accent.
Yes, yeah. They don't let the OC fall from their identity.
Yeah.
Truth.
Anyway, So yeah, I'm glad you picked this album because we haven't done a rap album yet.
It's true.
So I think
we can say we've done one.
Yeah, and we didn't do like
something
super big. Yeah, like we didn't do freaking. I don't know what's a good example.
What is a good example?
I don't know.
Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flockavelli.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Something really generic.
Girl, you know what to.
Jay-Z's The Blueprint. No, but we have 30 seconds left. I'm going to tell you what record we're doing next week.
Tell me.
So I want to do a metal album because we haven't done one, and I think it would be like the polar opposite of this.
I agree.
Very white and very not easygoing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do black metal because I figured that would be the genre you'd be least familiar with.
It is. You guessed right.
So, have you heard of Dark Throne?
No.
The band Dark Throne. Norwegian metal outfit from the 90s. They recorded several seminal black metal albums and also committed murders for other band members. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of lore. We'll go into it. But the album we're going to do is A Blaze in the Northern Sky by Dark Throne.
Dark Throne.
All one word. So
I will be reading up
I'm
on
I'm very excited to hear it.
This will be fun.
It's one of the more legendary records in the genre.
Yeah,
so.
You're not kidding.
So till next time. Ready to feel the heat.
Yeah. Wait, do you want to do outro song?
Very quick, let's go.
Woo!
Martini Bullet!
That's good.
Alright, thanks guys. Bye.